It's time now for perspective. Successive lockdowns and travel bans have transformed the restaurant industry, perhaps fitting then that a year of such seismic change should be marked by an evolution of the prestigious Michelin Guide to the world's best restaurants. This year, for the first time, in addition to its famous 1, 2 and 3-star ratings, comes the Green Star, an award that highlights exceptional restaurants committed to sustainability. And I'm joined now by Sam Buckley, chef and owner of Where the Light Gets In, the recipient of one of 23 Green Stars awarded to British restaurants this year. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to us here on France 24 today. Now, at your restaurant, you serve a no-choice menu. What exactly does that mean, and what's the reasoning behind it?
So this can be between 6 to 15 courses depending on the season and how much produce we have to play with. So you book beforehand, and when you get there, like my grandma says, you'll get what you get what you're given. So we just react to the produce we have at any one time during the day. So zero choice. Everybody has the same thing. The benefits of this are we don't waste food. We know exactly how many people we have in the restaurant every night, and we know exactly what we're cooking. So we can really hone in on portion control and preparation, and everything else can be preserved. Any waste product can be preserved.
And you talk about preserving food, not letting anything go to waste. What are the possibly more inventive techniques you employ to make sure that nothing does get wasted?
I think from the beginning we've been so involved in fermentation. It's a buzzword now, and it's really trendy, but when we'll use the word fermentation or preservation, to say that actually one of the more creative, we have a wonderful artist that works with us as well, Kat Wood. So a project that we did last year was, this was an egg yolk dish. It was kind of a veg en papillote with egg yolk sauce. We took pictures of the chickens and the farmers that rear the chickens, and we fixed the photographs with the egg whites. So the guests have a photo album at their table of pictures of these chickens and of the farmers that are fixed using the albumin from the egg white, and then they receive the egg yolk. So it's a way of thinking. It's also that's a mechanism of thinking about where your food comes from. And yeah, a really sort of creative and innovative way of using everything. Also to show that food waste can be used not just on the plate, but in other places. We use all of our cardboard on our landing farm, for example.
And there is,
and
of
then
course,
we work with the local.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. There's a slight delay on the line. Do you find that people are receptive to this way of eating? We hear a lot about sustainable eating, sourcing things locally, but do people appreciate that in a new way, do you find, when they come to your restaurant?
I hope so. I mean, the fact that we have no choice, the freedom from choice menu, I think is quite exciting. You walk up these stairs and you don't know what you're going to get. Obviously, we work hard to make sure it's tasty and delicious. The sustainable thing for us as a business, we just want to have as low impact on the planet as possible. It doesn't matter if we were selling carpets or if we had a bowling alley. For me, I just want to have the lowest impact and the most positive impact on my environment and my immediate environment and the people that work for me. But also we want to make sure that we're not sort of in this category of, I guess, sort of kind of hippie-ish thing. And you can show that being responsible, being sustainable, you can still have fun, you can still be creative, it can still be cool, it can still be delicious. It doesn't have to be quinoa boiled in toilet water. It can be exciting too.
I
think people are taking.
It should be said.
Thankfully, yeah. But I think people are taking on board the fact that we have to look at how we're behaving and look at how we're using our resources, not just locally but globally. Look at how we're treating each other. You kind of hope that every day we're maturing as a society or as a species.
And there are a lot of companies, out there, aren't there, that pay lip service to sustainability, to eco-friendly practices. How, as a consumer, can you ensure that the restaurant you're deciding to go to or the food you're trying to buy is locally sourced? What should people be looking out for if they want to live a responsible, sustainable lifestyle?
I worry about this side of green consumerism. As you say, companies paying lip service to the new, it's kind of the green dollar, isn't it? And even certifications like organic have become exploited, I think, because it's a brand. It has to keep itself sustained. So, large supermarkets can exploit the protocols of the organic certification board. So it's so difficult, I think, to be able to go out and know honestly that you're making the right choice. We always, we come back from our days off at the restaurant and we're like, yeah, I went for a roast dinner the other day. I didn't know whether to have lamb or beef. I didn't want to eat beef. And we all really get in a tangle about the decisions we make. And I think rather than ever truly knowing what's going on backstage, you just have to go out with an open mind, but also, just thinking responsibly about what you're eating, how much you're eating, where you're eating.
And you touched,
and it's really up to...
Sorry to interrupt again. You touched on it just there. There is a bit of a perception among some people that sustainable eating is fussy, picky, demanding. How do you go about changing those perceptions?
I think people have to be open-minded, and they have to change. They have to, the whole thing of trying something like sucking it and see is probably the only way you can do it. I truly believe, all over the world, well, we're very lucky with the Western diet. We get to choose whether we're vegetarian or whether we're vegan or whether we're going to eat this kind of gluten or whether we're going to, have steak or chicken. For most people in the world don't get that choice, and they don't have that sort of exuberant variety of diet. So I think really, at home I make sure that what I practice in the kitchen, I try and practice at home. So if we've got waste, I'll eat it for lunch the next day, or if the bread is stale, my partner will make like a pain perdu for pudding, which is great. It means if you've got waste bread and you make a pain perdu full of sugar and cinnamon and egg yolks, this is amazing. This is not fussy. This is like a delicious pudding. So I think, if people try and live like that, they'll see that they have more. You actually end up with more variety in your diet. You end up with, this lovely moment at home where you can make a pudding together, and it becomes more. I think it becomes more of a holistic way of life.
I can tell you that if I had some more pain perdu in my life, I'd be very happy indeed. I'm so sorry, we're going to have to leave it there. That's all we've got time for. Sam Buckley, chef and owner of Where the Light Gets In Stockport, one of 23 Green Stars awarded to British restaurants this year. Thank you very much. A reminder now of our top headlines today. Facebook urges the army to restore access to the social network in Myanmar following Monday's military takeover in the country. The UN Secretary-General urging the international community to ensure that the coup fails. And a German medical plane carrying doctors, nurses and ventilators arrives in Portugal as the country struggles to cope with persistently high levels of COVID-19 transmission.